Hello everyone, this is Hachuri and we're back in FTB Interactions. And as you see around me, we've been rebuilding our ore system. Now the base in itself has had quite a bit of progress done to it. We did get all of our controllers made but one. We're gonna get our ME system built and probably the recording after this one because I got a lot of stuff to get hooked up still. But I wanted to go over our ore processing system because we finally got it done. Now, as you see here, we got the standard stuff: macerators, ore washing plants, more macerators, centrifuges, packagers, electrolyzers. We have our melter here, and we have a EV electrolyzer for some stuff. And we're also going to be moving those two machines over to here as well. And we'll use those for the ore processing as well, for the items that need to be blast furnaced. But yeah, we got this going on. So we're going to do a brief overview of how this works. And first I thought I would kind of show it off. And let's see, what do I want to do? What are you? Chalcopyrite? Yeah, let's do casterite. Let's do casterite. I haven't done casterite yet, so I still need to do the listings in the electrolyzer for it. Okay. So, what I'm going to do here is basically shove half into each of these macerators. And if you watch, the stuff ends up in here and it's instantly taken out. If you take a look, it appears sorted in various chests. The items. We got some tin appearing in there, some stone going in there, little tiny dusts appearing in here. And essentially what this does is it uses the damage values of the items to determine where to put said items. Okay? So if it is a tiny dust, it's going to put it in this chest. Small dust go in that chest as well. And then they get pulled into whichever one of these. As you see, it's processing it just fine. All normal dusts end up in here. Stone gets tossed and casterite ends up in here. Now casterite we'll add to a list here in a second, and I'll show you how that works. And as you see, we get a whole bunch of variables here. All right. Now, I'll put the damage values in the comments for this. That way you can reference them, but I'm going to read them off here, okay? Items that are between 0 and 1,000 damage value are tiny dusts, okay? So it would be dust tiny in its ore dictionary, with the exception of certain ones. I have found that crushed black quartz has a damage value of 7. So that is something I'm going to be building a exception for on this video to kind of show you how operators work, because we're going to do the exception based off of ore dictionary name, since we don't know if there is another GregTech processed ore that has a damage value of 7. We don't know that, so we don't want to blacklist everything with a damage value of 7. We want to only do that with our exceptions, okay? And we're going to handle that. So that will be dealt with, not a problem. But, so first off, tiny dusts are between 0 and 1,000 damage value. Small dusts are between 1,000 and 2,000 damage value, okay? Normal dust is between 2,000 and 3,000 in damage value. Pure dusts are between 4,000, and 5,000 in damage value. Crushed ore is between 5,000 and 6,000 in damage value, and purified crushed ore is between 6,000 and 7,000 in damage value. And then the centrifuge, the thermal centrifuge little nuggets, if I remember correctly, those are between 7,000 and 8,000. I have yet to find out what is between 3,000 and 4,000. I haven't found one that is between 3,000 and 4,000 yet, but this pretty much covers all of them, with the exception of thermal, because I'm not doing thermal, but that would be between 7,000 and 8,000 in damage value. Okay, and essentially how you do this is you start with a handful of variable cards, integers, for each of the damage values that you're doing. And you're going to create a couple of operators that are relational less than and relational greater than. And how you do that is you just type in operator, and it gives you a text box. You do relational, and you can just select greater than, okay, number 0. Or you can do less than and get the same thing. But you want this one, all right? Now, there's something very important coming up on this, and we'll cover this. I'm going to go ahead and grab the 3 that I have here. It is going to stop the system for a little bit. Actually, you know what? Let's put these back in here. We'll make new. We'll let the system continue. We'll let the system continue error-free. So we're just going to take a couple of these here, and we'll make one of each for our demo. And that basically gives us our two dust there. All right. Now, with those, we need some integer operators for the thing, and we're just going to do the tiny dust one as a demo and go through that setup. So we have a 0 and a 1,000. All right. Now, what you want to do with this is you want to combine these. And how you combine an operator with a variable is with the apply attribute. Okay. And they have an apply 2, an apply 3, but we're only going to do apply, just the basic one for this, because we're not going to need more than this. All right. And what I want you to take a look at on this is it's relational greater than, relational less than. Okay, so I would put in less than 0, and logically you would think this is wrong, and normally you'd be right, except this isn't being read the way you think it is. Okay, and this is actually one we're going to want, so I'll show this. How this is actually being read and evaluated is less than 0. Okay, but the problem is the numbers first. So we read it as less than 0, but in reality it's being compiled as 0 less than, because we're adding the integer to it. We're applying the integer to it, and it always fills the first slot in the order. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to get the second one, and it will be 1,000 and greater than when it's done. Okay, so going to apply. We got our greater than. We got our 1000. And now we have our digit here, okay? So that gives us our two compares. Now normally we would just stick all these in there, but for now we're just gonna kind of deal with it. In fact, I might end up make a small system just for comparison here. Just so we can toy with it. Let's get a variable store. And do I have it on me? Probably not. Let's plop down a variable store real fast. Like so. So we can stick these in it. We're not going to need those anymore. We're just going to stick those for right there, right now. And I'm going to do int. Let's see what I have in here. I have exactly what I need for us to have a demo. Okay. And we're going to need a couple of chests. And a tiny dust. Let's do one of these, and I'll use corp as the alternate. All right. So we have that there. We have our chests. Throw a cable down. And we're going to have an interface in this chest and an exporter in this chest. And we're going to put our tiny dust and our corp in here. Okay. Now, for all I know, this has a damage value. I don't think it does, but it might. We'll find out. All right, so we have these comparison operators here. All right, and we need to pipe the value into it, but first we need a value. So we're going to need another operator. And we want item damage. And what this is this basically takes an item and gets the damage value, okay? Now we're gonna need a pipe operator because we're gonna pipe the item damage into each of these, okay? And what this does is this creates a new operator card that is taking the damage value and doing a comparison. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing with this one. And that gives us that as well. And the last thing we're going to want to do in this particular case is called a conjunction. It's basically the programmable equivalent of AND. And we're just going to take both of our pipe cards here, put it in there, and create that. Okay, so now we're going to put all of our other variables in here. The two combined operators here, our applies here with the values, and our item operator. All right, and then we're going to take this and we're going to put it in the predicate section. Now, if you take a look, they both moved because apparently corp actually has a damage value. So what we're going to do is we're going to take dust. Let's take some carbon dust. Carbon dust would come up over that, and as you see, carbon dust is not moving. But if I was to take this tiny pile of carbon dust and throw it in here, in a minute it's gone. And it's in the other chest because the tiny carbon matches this value. Now, this is dangerous in some ways because there are other items, as you saw. I can throw the corp in here and poof, it's gone. I could probably throw variable cards in here and... Okay, variable cards don't move. But The other ones do. Does this move? Yes, that does as well. So some of these do have damage values that are in that range, but this is the one for ore processing. So as long as you only put ore in your system, you're good. And that's the importance of this. Now, you will find out certain one-offs here and there, but this is an overall extremely easy way of filtering between the different stages of GregTech ore processing. There's only a small handful of exceptions, and they're almost always not GregTech. If it's not a GregTech ore, you want to find out what its value is beforehand and build a filter for it. Now, moving on to our wonderful crushed black quartz exception. We need to build a new way of handling that. Now, there are some unique things in here. Like, if you take a look at this predicate, it's a disjunction with two operators. And what it is, a disjunction is the programmable equivalent to OR. And I have two of these combined in it. So I want either small or tiny dust. So I have one of these for tiny, one of these for small, and they're in a disjunction and are combined in that manner. But yeah, based on what your rule set is, we're going to need to add a filter because we don't want black quartz going in here. We want black quartz going in here. So we're going to need to change a few things. We're going to need to that was weird. We're going to need to basically get some additional operators made, and we're going to make a ore dictionary item filter to identify when it's crushed black quartz and put it in the correct spot. Okay, so to do that, we're going to need to make a few things. First, crushed black quartz. We're going to want to take a look at what the ore dictionary name is. As you see here, it is dust quartz black. Okay? And we're going to create a string operator with that in it. Dust quartz black. And we have made our string. Let's do this again just to make sure. Dust quartz black with a Z. Dust quartz black. All right, we have our variable. Now, what we're going to do is get another operator. And say list, I believe it's predicate. I believe it's list contains predicate, so that's the one we're going to try. All right, so we have our list contains predicate. Now, we don't have a list yet. I think there's also a starts with operator we need. String starts with. Okay. And we're going to take that one as well. Now we're going to apply the string starts with and string into a variable card. Okay. Then we're going to take a flip operator. And what this does is this flips how the operator works. We don't have a list, but we do have the operator, okay? So we're going to flip this one. and get the flipped variant. And then we're going to apply our operator to it. So we have our flip. And then we have our starts with. And now we have another variable card. And just to keep things clean, we're going to start putting these away in here. Yep. Normally I label these. All right, and finally, what we're going to do is get another operator or dictionary names, and we're going to grab that operator, and then we're going to pipe it into this operator. So what this now does is we have a full system that will take the item and see if it matches the one in question. Okay, I'm running out of variable space, so I may have to, in fact, I think I'm going to empty this out and add it to the other one. Or actually, I could just make another one. And we're going to pull this one, pull the stuff for this one out and put it in the other one. Just for, huh? What is going on? It's just vanishing. All right, I'm going to pause this and see what's up. All right, I'm back. I don't know what was causing that, but logging out, logging back in appears to have fixed whatever weird thing was going on. So we made our thing here, and we have a pipe operator for it. And what we're going to do is we're going to deal with a puppy barking in the background. We're going to go over here and copy this because we're going to be doing a few things with it, and we're going to need about 3 of them. So we're going to take ourselves a couple of copies. We now have our respective variables. Now the first thing we're going to do is we have our original, and we're going to use the not. That's not the one I want. Operator. Negation. Okay. So basically, I don't want this going into a specific one. So we're going to use a negation operator with it. And then we're going to come over here after, let me see here, negation 502, and this is 502. So 502 needs to be put right in there. We're going to take the one out of here temporarily. And we're going to create another conjunction. Okay. And we're going to take our disjunction operator and our now negation card. We're going to create a brand new operator for this. We're going to stick it back in here. Now this is going to show red because the others aren't in here, and we're going to place it right here. And now it's green again, or good to go, yellow again. We're going to do the same thing with this. We're going to take our conjunction, but instead of using a negate, we're going to just go ahead and do a conjunction, or no, a disjunction. We have our conjunction here, so we want the conjunction, but we also want this one to be allowed in there. And we're gonna put our disjunction predicate in here. It's saying that 2 of them are missing, which they are. They're right here. And now, that is good. So now, in theory, and I have an extra in here, so we're just gonna set that in the corner for now. So if I take some black quartz, I believe I have one in here. Crushed black quartz. And I put it in the initial catch-all chest. I should find that black quartz right here again, and there it is. So we've now added that filter to where the black quartz doesn't go in here. It only goes in here. And that's essentially how you do OR dictionary filtering, is basically going through it. So just to go over it again, you create a string for the OR dictionary name you're looking for, and you can wildcard this, okay? You can do just dust or dust pure. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be the full OR dictionary name. It could be a partial. And if it's a partial, then it will do everything that's like dust quartz or dust whatever. And that's one way of doing it. It's just rather than making the OR dictionary ones for every single thing, it was just faster to do the numbers and then do the one-offs here and there for OR dictionary. And that's basically how this OR system works, is we have it set up to do that. And then what we do with this is, like, say I have lazurite dust. I want to electrolyze lazurite dust. Okay? If I take a look at this, lazurite dust requires 28 dust to electrolyze. And this is why we have the logistical sorter here. Okay? Now, I need to pick out which one I want. I'm going to do this one, which should be... What color are you? You are currently dark aqua. So I'm going to create a new filter. It's going to be an item stack. It's going to be for lazurite dust. The color is going to be dark aqua. And I said 28. Minimal needs to be 28. Maximum needs to be 28. And then we're going to save it. And this is important. Size mode makes it to where it will only send it if there's this much to send. Okay? And then we save it, and it's immediately going to put the stacks, and you're going to see 28 at a time come into this electrolyzer. And it's already processing the first 28. And as you see, there's room for 28 more. So it's sent 28 more. It's going to become 56 here in a minute. There you go. So, and this will basically electrolyze all of our lazurite and send the ore or the processed stuff back to here. And then depending on what we're going to do with it, we can move it on from there. Let's also do casterite because we have it here. So let's get that in there as well. Casterite takes 3 dust to make one, and let's stick it on dark red. And it would help if I took a sample, because I do need a sample of it. Stack, casterite, dark red, size mode is on, and we need 3 to be able to process, and then we save, and it will start sending the casterite. Now we can alter this to where it would only do it if it was like packs of like 9 or 30 or something. Just so that it always processes even amounts. But that's essentially how this works. And it will just continuously send things to where they need to go. And then since we have tin in here collecting, and we want tin to go to this, which I believe is dark blue. Okay. We're going to add a new filter for tin. And you can have as many filters as I need. Now, I don't need a stack on this. I just want all tin to go to dark blue. And it will send it to dark blue. And that basically will process it and then put all the tin in here. This is going to be our chest where everything goes into the ME system from. But that's essentially how this works. So we're using the logistical sorter here from Mechanism to handle things like electrolyzing, what goes into the smelter, what needs to be electrolyzed, what goes into the blast furnace. That's going to be moved here soon as well. And using Ore Dictionary, I'll pull out of here and determine what needs to be put into the freezer and what doesn't. And then everything else is going to go into this. And that's essentially how this system works. It's done really well, and it's pretty much automatic. You don't have to, with the exception of this filter right here, you don't really have to do a whole lot. And I apologize, there's a huge storm going on right now. So I don't know if you guys hear that. But you don't have, this is the only thing you have to do filtering on, and it makes sense to do filtering here because you want to determine what dust goes where for the processing. But this sorter, you can have as many filters in here. I have 9 currently because I'm still adding stuff, but you can have infinite. I'm pretty sure you can anyway. And I don't think there's enough filters here that are enough dust that it would have to go that far. But yeah, that's the gist of it. That is this ore system in a nutshell. And you can do it any way you want. This is how I built it. You don't have to build it and have this many checks in it. I mean, the checks themselves, these are all copies for each of the machines. They're copies of it. But as far as the damage things, you can do either Ore Dictionary route using Dust Pure, Dust Tiny, etc. But the thing I had issues with is the dust chest also matched all of the tiny dust and all of the purified dust, etc. So in the end, the damage route was the best one to get around that, and then just doing the one-offs like you just saw during this to handle the unique situations that don't follow those rules correctly. But yeah, that's the ore system. That is going to be our new ore processing, and I am going to move the blast furnace over here and get that attached and get everything going. But we can now start pumping all of our stuff in there. And what I'm going to be doing next, after I get that moved and I finish adding all of the filters, is I'm going to build the ore multiplication stuff here, right here, in this side, so that we can get things started as far as that is concerned. And get all of our stuff processing. So with that, we will wrap this episode up, and I will see you on the next episode where we continue on our ME system and P2P network. Have a good one. Goodbye.